Boy, it's a
Thank you.
white knuckler, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you wear a lot of hats in this film. Which hat do you enjoy? The producer, the director, the writer, or an action star?
It's such a hard question to answer because they all kind of inform each other, and they're all deliciously fun in their own way. But I would say right now the directing is the front runner, and then writing and action star would be a close second, really close second. It's hard to pick.
Is it tough to direct yourself?
Um, No, I would say no, and also I had the luxury of being able to play the rogue, the quintessential rogue character that innately in and of itself, being loose, being a little flippant, actually works for the character, which I kind of designed, so to speak, knowing that I was going into this movie directing it.
It must be fun playing a smartass.
Yeah, it's fun because I get to say what I don't get away with in real life, right? So,
Depends on if you're a smart ass in real life too.
well, no, I'm not a smartass in real life, but I do have a mischievous sense of humor.
And you write that way too. Where did you get the idea for the story of Bulletproof? Because it seems to be very intricately written.
It's very intricately written. I mean, I wrote the script with Danny Mack and Cooper Bebo, and we took a year. It was basically all of 2019. And I mean, first and foremost, we were like, we want to make a popcorn film, want to make an action film. I was really thinking about audience first. And then also going, okay, well, what do I want the audience to feel? And what do I want their experience to get to that conclusion of their feeling leaving the theater? And I wanted a lot of movement, and a chase film lends itself to that. And so once we knew, that kind of spine to the story, we started building the characters around it. It actually came really easy.
Vinny has such a great range. I mean, he can do comedy, he can do this. He plays the bully really well. And I've worked with him in the past on a couple of things here in Utah. And I was blown away by his performance in this because it's a different kind of bad guy for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I thought Vinny was phenomenal in the role. I've always wanted him for that because he can play that menacing character very well. But I needed somebody who also had empathy and heart and a bit of a softer side, but not play into it too much where then all of a sudden it became cheesy and it just doesn't quite work. It's got to be bubbling on the inside.
This movie seems to have its roots in some of those great 70s action films. I was thinking like, it's not an exact thing, but it's like, it gave me the feel like when I saw Cobra for the first time,
Oh,
with Rutger Hauer and Stallone. And it just had that kind of, give and take between the good guys and the bad guys.
Well, I didn't specifically reference Cobra, but that's a great film because it's within the ilk of everything. I mean, we were looking a lot at, the original Lethal Weapon movies, Indiana Jones, Mad Max movies, all those classic Bad Boys. We looked at a lot of like the Rock, Michael Bay movies that had those, stakes that were, true, deep, and believable, but we're able to execute with some levity because you want people to have fun, especially in a summer film.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to when we were kids and watching movies where we would, go to the theater on a hot day, get some air conditioning and some popcorn and just either be on the edge of our seats or laugh our butts off.
Mm-hmm. And the same way, you kind of want kids to watch the movie, go outside, jump on their bikes, and just start racing down the road, right? I think you hit the nail on the head. I want to tap into that innocence.
And you've done a great job in doing that. And writing something like this is not an easy task. I mean, it's as a writer, do you guys get together and do you stand up and act out the scenes, in the writer's room, so to speak?
No, we didn't actually do any standing up and acting. It was a lot more of just discussion of ideas. And for me personally, I'm just very visual. So a lot of anytime I was rewriting a scene or shaping it, I was doing it going, okay, what's the most visual way in order to bring this to life? And I was really using that to inform it. I was thinking in shots and edits because my director stage quite early on.
Hmm. You know, I want to talk about another character in the film, and that's the musical score. It is just spot on.
Oh, I'm so happy that you think that. That's a very good friend of mine. Ben Peaver is his
Hmm.
name, who did the score. And I've used or collaborated with Ben on 3 or 4 films now. And I think he's an undiscovered talent. And it was a tremendous joy to work with him.
It played so perfectly. I mean, it what a talented guy.
Extremely talented. Yeah, I can't wait to tell him that you said that. Right. I want to work with him on every single film that I do.
And putting all the pieces together, is it a lot like herding cats? I mean, do you go a little nuts when you're doing a production like this?
Yeah, you certainly can if you're not prepared enough. So I was fortunate to have a fantastic team, and we did a lot of prep, like a lot of shot listing. The edit was planned beforehand, and of course, we changed things on the day. But um, I think it's an immense amount of concentration. So the more prepped you are, the more you can really be on point and present. And as long as you're prepped, you can wrangle those cats, because there were a lot of cats, all over the place. There we'd be running 5 to 6 cameras at once, and not just people, handheld or whatever. We'd have them on drones flying by as one's on an arm car and then someone's on a handheld, and we got a steady cam going, and then we mounted a camera on like a little RC cart that we were like driving past people. It was chaos, total chaos.
Your stunt team is really good too.
Yeah, Peacemaker Filmworks is an amazing company. I still kind of tickle myself that I got a chance to have them as a producing partner, because, they've done action sequences in like both Sonic the Hedgehog movies. They've done like, RoboCop. They did after Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's pretty incredible. So I kind of felt like I was a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, and it adds to the realism of the film, because again, it's a suspension of belief in any movie, but this seemed to really, really work on all cylinders.
Well, I really wanted to do everything practically. And that wasn't even a function of budget or anything like that. I wanted to do something that was palpable. I mean, that's why Tom Cruise is the best in the world, because he'll actually go and strap himself to a side of the plane. So I feel like when you do stuff like that, it makes it real for the audience.
Do you consider yourself a stunt person as well, because of or
No, I've done a lot of the physical acting in the film, and I got a chance to do, some driving. I did a Rockford, but by no means am I ever going to take away from my phenomenal stunt team. Olivier Lunardi is, my fight stunt double, and he took a lot of hits. And then Ryan Ennis, who was also the second unit director, he was my stunt driver double. And those guys are crazy good, dangerous. So
yeah, and yet they drive home at the speed limit. So it's they're very cautious people, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I'd like to believe. Yes. In our final moments we have, what do you think audiences are going to take away from Bulletproof?
Oh, I think that they're going to be pleasantly surprised with how much fun it is. And I really want them to come out and feel like they got just, like a nice warm hug. Because I think the film has, some heart to it. It really does.
And I think it should be seen on a big screen. We live in this age where people are waiting for it to come home so they don't have to leave. But I think this needs to be seen on the biggest screen possible.
Thank you for saying that. I couldn't agree more, because we shot large format. It's got a grand feel when you're watching it on the big screen, and it's operatic. It's got big emotions that are going to play well in the theater too.
And Bulletproof 2, that's in the works.
It's in the works, my friends, but that's it. That's all I can say.
So it's going to be a whole franchise, and
if I could be lucky, yeah, absolutely.
And you'll always be the sarcastic thief, no matter what you do.
We'll see. Hope maybe there's some character growth,
Yeah, probably. You can write it that way. Anyway, James, it's such a pleasure to meet you. And wow, what a film. Really, honestly, what
Oh,
a film.
thank you. Well, the pleasure is mine. I had a real joy talking to you.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Bye bye.